Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me today in this class. I'm very happy to see everyone, and the majority of you I've seen often, and it's like coming together and having a nice chat, a nice drawing together. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful for you to supporting me and joining me in those classes and sharing your drawings, and in this way supporting me and supporting each other, because it's important. We are building now a new community, virtual communities. There will be no, once it started, now we discovered this, the world of being online, communicating online, there will be no turn back. That will continue. This is our new normal and new reality. So we have people from North America and Europe. It seems like it will be temporary, but now, and I even moved my painting classes online as well. And I discovered so many positive things about being online. Firstly, it's the ability to save recordings. They're available later as classes. Also, that's amazing abilities to see people all over the world. There's no boundaries. There's no restriction, time difference, state borders, nothing. So we all can come together. And probably this is what prototype of everything else that's going to be. What they're talking, that becoming one of oneness. That's probably internet is probably a prototype of this world community. So, and then with approaching, we have very 2020, that significant year, significant for the whole world, is almost over. We'll see how we're coming to the 2021. Unbelievable. So I will, with this, I will start our short presentation about Saint Nicholas and relation to the tradition of Christmas and Santa Claus and its amazing journey, and mostly about art, how artists changed the entire course of history just by drawing something else, or writers and artists and writers, how they changed the entire the presentation and what we see today, and what whom we know as Saint Nicholas, say Santa Claus. And then we will do some drawings, and I will talk, if it's necessary, I will talk a little bit about NeuroGraphica, neurographic line, anything that we need to complete our assignments. But otherwise, we'll just continue as we normally do. And the road from Saint Nicholas to Santa Claus. It was a long story, almost 2,000 years, at least 1700 years from a saint that was known in what's modern-day Turkey until now, the celebration at Christmas. The NeuroGraphica, everybody knows that we're using NeuroGraphica, and everybody is not familiar. There's plenty of information online, and I can explain. You can find explanation. And those who are present today, I know that you're more than familiar with this wonderful drawing method. And of course, you know me, that I'm instructor of NeuroGraphica, and I am also an artist. This is my artwork. The story about Saint Nicholas. Saint Nicholas is a historical figure. It's a saint, and he was a bishop, and he was a Greek origin and born around like 300 or our time, our year. At those same time, Christians were persecuted, and it was still underground. But eventually he became prominent and was appointed even as a bishop. He was a very lucky person, because the miracle that was attributed to him and his good deeds is very much connected to his birth. He was from a wealthy family, and his parents died from plague early in his life. So he had inherited, and he could use it for his own good deeds. He helped a lot in his life, and he was very strong and in his faith. He is known for protecting of poor people, different frescoes and icons, and even paintings. At the bottom, you can see the story of him throwing something gold coins, pieces of gold, into a room. So the story is connected with the Christmas stocking, as we know today. There was a man with three daughters, and he was poor. He couldn't give enough money for his daughters to marry successfully and to find, at least to find suitors. So they almost faced being sold into becoming prostitutes. That was rough times with very little rights for women and social protection. Finding about this story, St. Nicholas carefully came to that house and put gold coins, in some stories the gold coins, in some stories the gold, into the stockings of the girls near their fireplace. And that's how the story about Christmas stocking became known and eventually became a good tradition at Christmas. Whether it was true or not, we don't know, like many other stories. But at the same time, that's probably we're familiar with. And the story and veneration of Saint Nicholas continues for after his death, and he died in around 340 on December 6th. So then that night, December 5 to December 6th, it's considered December 6th Saint Nicholas Day, and then people find their gifts in the morning on December 6th. And I also had like a previous slide. There's an icon that I painted. I painted this icon a few years ago. So over time, like the story of Saint Nicholas, he was a venerated saint for years until about 15th century, when the story of Protestant Reformation began at that time. It seems like Saint Nicholas lost their significance. What I showed the story of similar, not a character. It's in German tradition. I can't pronounce his name correctly, but he was also similar. The idea, he wasn't a gift giver. He was a strange, strong man with a big beard and fur coat, and he walked with a big sack, and he punished naughty children. That he was known for that. There are some other unpleasant stories, and the far north we go, like Norwegian and Swedish stories, are even more scary, and they all related to that character around winter solstice and Christmas Day, what's known as Christmas Day. So this role eventually bringing gifts was given to baby Jesus, but as you can imagine, baby is not as powerful enough, and he needed stronger support. And that was another idea of Sinterklaas from the Netherlands story. And he was presented as a bishop in his clothes and a bringer of gifts. And of course, eventually, when immigrants started coming to North America, they brought their stories with them. And from there, the stories of St. Nicholas became almost viral. And the viral they became because of art, writers, and artists who created the character. That everything changed in the 19th century. So one of the first illustration was created anonymous story, poem entitled The Children's Friend, that shaped the image of Santa Claus and brought it closer to what we know Santa Claus. And there was in 1822 a famous poem Clement Clark Moore wrote, A Visit from Saint Nicholas, and they became known the night before Christmas. He wrote it for his 6 children, but it became popular. And then on the right, you can see character, jolly, full of life, merriment, and quite substantial in his figure. That was created by Thomas Nast, a great political cartoonist of that year. But surprisingly, Coca-Cola helped shape the image of Santa as we know him today. It was extremely popular, and this image remained for us. And then it came back, the image of Santa as we know him today, came back to other countries, returned to Europe, and started connecting. And either he was connected with other, interpreted and shaped Santa, the, the image of Santa that's known around the world. You can see the Ded Moroz, Father Christmas in Russian stories, and Father Christmas in British tradition, and Swedish, and Iceland, even China, Far East. So that's the story of Santa, who became such a popular character. His day, December 6th, and his bringing gifts was moved to Christmas. But in Europe, Saint Nicholas Day is widely celebrated. And he is one of the most popular saints in Europe, in some countries like Greece, Russia, and Eastern Europe. So he's still a very popular saint in spite of his connection to Christmas. So here we are with my simple drawing tools as usual, markers, pencils. You can also do, these are traditional tools that we use in NeuroGraphica, but you're welcome to use anything you like. You're welcome to use paints, watercolors, pastels, anything you feel comfortable. It's not strictly NeuroGraphica where pencil required, so you're free to create, and I'm just giving you ideas. This is my drawing, this is my connection, how I can visualize. You're welcome to follow my guidelines. I'm just offering you guidelines how to do that, and you can draw and use your own interpretation, your imagination, and your skills. So with this, we can start. We'll incorporate all the stories of particular his idea of bringing gifts. And when I talked about this workshop, this small short class, it's about giving gift to ourselves. And I could say that, imagine that all of them can be Santas to ourselves, and not only to ourselves, but also to our relatives, to those people who are close to us. The stories are vary. Sometimes the stocking is put on the window, but mostly is a mantelpiece near the fireplace, because the stories, you know, that the Santa descended down the chimney and put a gift in the stockings. So the stocking, there was also tradition how it was interpreted and drawn and presented. And also it was transformation over 200 years when it was first introduced to this day. And also the idea of presenting oranges is also connected to original story of Saint Nicholas when he dropped gold money into the stockings of those three girls. Gold and orange. So and with this, let's imagine that create a composition that shows how we can the mantelpiece, our imaginary fireplace, and the stockings. I think I'm going straight to drawing, and those who are new to NeuroGraphica, there's probably, and it's not so much, it's a little bit the idea of rounding and neurographic line. If anybody would like me to repeat, are there completely new people, or everybody's familiar with NeuroGraphica? Somewhat, even from YouTube videos is fine. If not, I will start drawing. So first, I will start with the place, fireplace, a little bit like on this side. Just a short, small sketch. It's almost like I'm framing this drawing. Last year, a year ago, I presented there's only one stocking. I had another. This year, I decided I will put stockings for my entire family, for myself and for my parents and for my spouse. So altogether, I will put 4 stockings on my fireplace. Whether you would like to follow this or not, it's up to you. That's my idea. I just decided to, that would be nice for me. You can give to yourself or to others. It's up to you. Okay. So of course mine we went central, so I'll move a little bit here to have enough room for, and just like sock. I'm not sure. I'm not wearing stockings, but a sock, something similar. There is another one. I would like to put another one from. Oh, there was a question. They didn't. Somebody didn't understand what I drew. I drew an idea first as a fireplace. So that's like a frame, imaginary fireplace. It's like a box, like a frame, with a mantelpiece. And then and that here's a one stocking, and I'm going to place for my family. I'm going to put 4 stockings. You're welcome to draw one or as many as you would like. So here's another one. I decided a similar one for my mom. We are very close together. And also for my father. It's very similar sock. And for my spouse. They're all hanging on the mantelpiece. And imagine, and I start feeling these stockings with my idea. So what I would like to, as a gift, I imagine myself being, right now I turn into Santa or Saint Nicholas, whoever you're connecting with. You're giving gifts that what would you like to give on this special night, on this special time? What gift would you like to give to yourself? Let's start to yourself and then we'll continue with others if you have. For me, it's probably the most important is a self, I would call it self-realization. My drawing is small, so I'm just filling it in. Imaginary shape. And with this gift, it comes in love and health and joy and creativity. So please just draw and name what you feel like. This is very personal what I wish to myself. You could start with love, you could start with vitality, with health. This is your drawing gift. Now I'll continue feeling this different shapes. As I said, and the joy and health. And I start adding neurographic lines to them. You could start adding neurographic lines now, but at the same time, you could first do our sketch, like a composition, and after that, you can start drawing adding neurographic lines. That comes later. So first we create a sketch and then we turn it into a neurographic drawing. That's a typical way how we create neurographic drawings. So with my mom, I'm pretty much sure she's the same. She's on the same path and understanding with me. So I will add self-realization, health, maybe more health, joy, and love. So another one, what I'm thinking for my father, it's probably I can add him being as powerful, of course, health. And with this one, I'm just trusting my hand. I have no plan. I have no plan at all how I would create these figures. I had a general idea. I tried a sketch last night, but now something changed and my hand creates differently. So I just right now I'm drawing and trusting my hand. This in relation to the size and the drawing and the overall shape. And of course, interest and life with vitality. And some other gift that I don't know. He probably has some his own desires. And I will not assign, I'll just whatever he wishes for himself. So this comes to my spouse, and I don't know. I will trust him and the idea and his wisdom, so desire for himself. So may he whatever he can help him, whatever life for his advancement, for his understanding, for his overall well-being. So I'll just create various shapes and I hope that they, and of course health, that's everyone's. So now that with this composition, basic composition, I ask myself, so what else I could be? So if this is a fireplace, what else could be added to this composition? It's the fire itself. And fire, that's element that could we can relate to it like as passion, as love, as strong interest. So my fire is just so it doesn't burn these items. So I'll just draw the lines that represent the fire. And here I can start drawing neurographic lines. As there is no shape, and I start turning my sketch into a neurographic drawing. I'm drawing with one color on purpose, because if I start doing rounding and lines, they will be difficult to blend two different colors. If you feel comfortable, you may start drawing using different colors, but I prefer to stay a traditional NeuroGraphica drawing and first draw everything with a color, one color, that allows me to connect the lines in a nice way without any difficulties. Okay. So in fire, what do fire requires? If anybody is familiar, I'm using the system of five elements of nature. So one of this is the fire, the element of fire, and it's supported by wood. Now here will be a wood that supports the fire. Keeps the fire burning, and of course water that allows wood to grow. That will be, now I may indicate the color. It may be snow as well, because snow is just frozen water. I may use even blue. If this is blue, I'm not going to blend it too much, so I will use blue marker just to indicate the lines for the water. The element of water that supports wood, and that could be also snow. If you do not want to think about Christmas and water, let's use it snow. And water is associated with wisdom, the element of water. I may use other colors as well. I will probably use it for a brown for the fireplace. And I start turning it into neurographic lines. The lines, they have no pattern. I use brown color only with the shape of the fireplace. And I can use my red like a festive color. And I'm going to add neurographic lines with my with these stockings. The neurographic lines can go outside, and that can contain within the object, within the images. And as I'm drawing neurographic lines, I'll also add some rounding, softening the sharp corners. Not all of them, so you need just to do rounding as much as you need. Can they connect it with fire? Yes. NeuroGraphic drawings are all characterized by interconnectedness of all the elements. And of course, the SOPs, so we're connected, we're one family. I have brown and red here, so that's why. And then not too difficult colors to integrate, but that's why I suggested you be careful with changing colors. It's because difficult to integrate them, and would like to do rounding and connect those lines. It's not easy to integrate them, to blend the two colors together. Brown and red are probably not the worst colors. They're related. So yeah, and I continue filling my composition. Adding more lines. The idea with neurographic lines. NeuroGraphica is not minimalistic drawing. You add as many lines as you feel you need. And the more line is the better. The stronger the drawing, the stronger connection. This is my habit, but also my drawing style. When I keep adding fine lines, many lines, over and over again. They're not identical. I move my hand slightly, but I keep on working with my drawing for long time. Even a small drawing can take long time because of the number of lines that I bring into every composition. Here I just follow my hand. Whether it wants to connect certain elements, a complete trust. And I also use my lines to connect it to the background. This is element of NeuroGraphica when the image is connected to our environment. Those who don't know, just follow it. Whether you feel like adding them or not, it's up to you. Those who know can add them. And here's my fire. And I give more attention to the fire lines. Different elements. Of course, I lost the count. I don't remember which one the elements, but the idea is like I gave the idea. I indicated my desire and indicated like send a message to the universe. This is what it is. That's the direction I would like to follow to bring gifts to myself as I'm being as Santa, myself, and to my family. On my farm, the warming up our home and our maybe hearts. And of course, I'm connecting all the elements in my drawing. Yeah, not easy to connect those two colors, the brown and red. I will make an attempt in a few lines. Like there. So that's why I suggested using one color. NeuroGraphic drawing. Give more lines to the fire now. I feel like. So wood and fire blend together as wood turns into fire and feeds the fire. It's not destroyed energy. It's just different energy, life energy, how it turns from one state into another. You can also use the brown color. Oh no, that was blue over the water. Or rather snow. And there's even extended more like a composition, abstract fireplace. Almost like in the snow. Now we can take our coloring pencils or anything that creates color and start adding colors. I will start first with probably the fire. And orange and bright red, orange colors. I do not apply my colors full strength yet. I mean, like I apply colors, but I'm testing. I'm testing my feeling. I based everything on my feelings. And I just use to indicate colors. So wood is associated with green color. Again, yeah, this is like a general idea. So whether you want to follow it, it's up to you. You can use any colors you want and just follow your intuition. Now I have a various socks and different colors. Hey. They could be any. And red again. So when my entire composition is red, so I'm very careful with what colors I use, and I just, when I apply them, I start to feel, is it too much of one color or maybe too little? Is there any other color I would like to add? So how do I feel when I apply a certain color? So it's everything is based on my feeling. I'm observing myself. It's not a realistic drawing. It's a drawing also we're doing for ourselves, for your own benefits. Now, the criteria for neurographic drawing, you continue working on it as long as you need to feel the result. If you have a good feeling, it's not so much about art for art's sake. It has a purpose. Yes, it would be beautiful drawing that you can put on the wall. But at the same time, let's relax and not be so attached to, oh, it's beautiful, not beautiful. Somebody else should like it. So now the suggestion is we don't need to color everything, absolutely everything. It's okay to have white space. Actually, white color adds some lightness to the drawing, a feeling of lightness. It's almost like leaving some air to breathe. It's another idea. So would you like to add certain other elements? So you're welcome to add any other elements you would like to add to your drawing, whether you feel comfortable, no? Any symbols, any other elements to your drawing, any figures. Dark. And with it, I'm adding this color on the background with more contrast. Like a fireplace. Here we have fire, it's light, and there's a dark area behind it. And then the size of the fire, of course. Something like this, and I will probably work. I will definitely work on it more. I may leave it for a couple hours to see how I'm feeling about it. So I don't. I'm okay with the composition, but I feel like I need to work more with colors. Oh, right, no, orange. Okay, I will leave it orange. It's like a basic design for our drawing for Saint Nicholas, for giving a gift to yourself, gift to yourself, gift to others. So that's how I'm working. I adding colors, then I come back to adding the lines, giving more attention to certain elements, working on the rounding the corners, intersections. So we're slowly coming to the end of our session today. Those who know, please add the field lines here. I can add more new field lines. So probably want to add field lines. So I will add 4 field lines and related to each stocking. So the field lines and the stronger field lines. It will be not easy to connect them with the fire and the wood elements. Okay, I'll try. So my field lines stronger. And as I edit field lines, I feel like I need to connect more and my image to the background. I'm trying to blend in now colors. Brown and red, but they go close. The brown here. So if everybody who knows about the basic algorithm of NeuroGraphica, those you may think about it, any answer and the main figures. Of course, the stockings are the main figure in this composition. It will be the main character, so you can outline them if you want. If you feel like you would like outline one particular, you're welcome to do that. Of course, because I'm like in relation to myself, I will probably outline more the stocking that I brought gifts to myself. Thank you so much for being with me. So it gives me a great opportunity to share my knowledge and my inspiration and supporting me. So that it works for both of you. So I'm sharing with you and you supporting me. You fueling my energy, because the true creativity comes from sharing it with others. And regarding my plans for 21, I'm thinking of offering like a, if anybody thinks like basic user course in January, and also Neuromandala course in January as well. Bye.